at composing a scene, it's easy to populate it with actors and a general location. But what about the space in between that? How can you fill that space with production design to set a specific mood, allow proper character development, or even drive the story of the narrative? In this video, we're going to be looking at the importance of production design in commercial production specifically. And besides talking about production design in general, we're going to be diving into a set we built for a recent commercial project. The first thing that we have to understand is what exactly is production design. A general overview is that production design gives the viewers a sense of time period, the plot location, and characters' actions and feelings. The goal of a production designer is to immerse you in the world that they have created. And that's the magic of production design, creating the world you see and making you believe the unbelievable. Production design is one of the driving forces that helps ground viewers in the world of film. I cannot stress the importance of having a production designer or general art department on your next set because it's going to bring your work to another professional level. The set we're going to be looking at is from a commercial piece I directed as well as the DOP for called Yasuke Scarborough Forever. In this narrative, we explore where a music artist found his love for music and how the place he grew up in inspires him. This specific scene we're going to be looking at is this hallway scene where we see the artist expressing himself. As the director for this piece, I intended this scene to allow the viewer to know that you are looking into the mind of the main character and that he is aware of it. This was done through the fact that it's an empty hallway with no doors and the talent is looking directly into the camera at some point in the piece. And this was just a creative choice to break up the narrative, and there was something new to try in our commercial work. In addition, this is done in a lot of commercial work where I am inspired from. There's typically a reflection scene where it's dark and moody, where the talent is reflecting or speaking directly into camera. This is typically done to pull the viewer in more with visuals as well as drive the story forward. For this set, I contacted a friend of mine who works in the construction world, and I knew he could execute this on the budget we had. We talked over the phone a bit, and I told him the exact dimensions that I wanted, and he suggested all the materials I need, and I sourced them from a local Home Depot. These materials were to build the general structure as well as the ceiling of the hallway. And funny enough, the day of production, we built this set in my parents' driveway. And this just goes to show that you have to use the resources you have to make the projects that you want to make. In this case, I'm pulling resources from the people I know, as well as taking advantage of my parents' driveway. As we were planning to shoot this outside, we wanted to shoot as the sun set. This was due to the fact that we wanted completely black walls and no light coming from outside sources. As we knew that this was just a temporary set, we didn't need to build it with the intent that it would last forever. Because of that, fewer materials could be used and we could build it as fast as possible when it came to the overall structure. To build the walls, we used two 10x20 black cloths we got from Amazon. This isn't complete blackout material, but as we were shooting at night, this wouldn't be an issue. Just finishing up the last of the walls. Curtis is hanging them up to the top of the track. So what we did is we screwed them right up flush between the track and the drywall, so it appears that the walls are seamless with the actual ceiling. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull these tight and then staple them down. So this side you haven't seen them stapled, so we're going to pull it tight. That obviously you have to staple that side first, just because normally we wanted something more drapey, but just because of the wind and we're outside, it's picking up a bit, we're going to have to staple it. Not the exact look what we're going for, but still pretty happy with it. For the ceiling fixtures, I ordered them off Amazon and took them apart to mount my own lights in them, which were Titan tubes. They were easily attached to the ceiling with screws, and I simply used magnets to attach the tube-like fixtures. Finally, for the floor, we used some muslin material and folded it neatly to simulate a carpet floor. Now, the reason I used muslin material was to add some fill back up into the talent's face. As the scene was strictly lit by the practical light sources, I knew I needed some fill, and then to do this, I used a bounce source. Now, I love to use practical light sources in any of my work, and to achieve this, proper production design is needed. In this scene specifically, we are introduced to a new character in a way, which is the hallway itself. The hallway tells its own story and adds a new layer to the main character of the commercial. And the hallway has its own characteristics as well. Doorless black walls, fluorescent light fixtures, white ceilings, and a white floor. To put this in perspective, this set cost us about $600 to make and 4 hours to build and 1 hour to tear down with production in between that. This was our first set building experience and we definitely learned a lot. Something for the future was we'd like to hire a production designer, set deck, and art department for our next productions, but the reality of it is sometimes you don't have the budget to do that because it gets really expensive. We just wanted to showcase our first experience with production design and doing it ourselves and sharing that experience with you guys. If you have any questions about this video or future topics you guys want us to talk about, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your opinion. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video.